You're right, it passed with, they say, sort of 64 safeguards. Some of them aren't really safeguards, but anyway, it is quite strict. You need to be ill with you need to be terminally ill with 6 months to live, or 12 months if it's a motor neurone disease. You have to live in Victoria and have lived there for the last 12 months, and a number of other things. Western Australia will probably very soon release its own bill, and they're going to be the next ones to go. The recommendations for that is that it does away with a lot of the protections in Victoria. So they'll go from 6 months to live to 12 months. Victoria requires 2 doctors to sign off. Western Australia says it can be 1 doctor and 1 nurse. Victoria says the doctor isn't allowed to initiate the conversation about assisted suicide with the patient. Western Australia says they can. Like I said, Victoria, you have to have lived there for 12 months. Western Australia, you should live there for 12 months, but we can dispense with that requirement on compassionate grounds. So while Victoria might be conservative, Western Australia, in their legislation, if it gets passed, will expand that to make it more broad. Queensland then will probably look to be next, and I imagine will go even looser. And so what will happen is you'll get agitation in Victoria and say, well, we started here, but it's a lot easier in the other states, and we should match them. The other thing about doctors is that while at the moment the legislation says that no doctor has to be involved, the Australian Health Practitioners Regulation Authority has come out with its own sort of code of conduct that is a little bit tighter on conscientious objection. And so you'll start to see restrictions placed not by the law, but on the regulations that are put in place by the medical accreditation bodies. But this is how it's done. The activists jam their foot in the door with narrow legislation, and then they progress over time to wind it back.